Today, and I'm a psychic prophet shaman. I'm going to talk about a few different things. One of them was an article I read that doctors wrote, and in the article, doctors and psychiatrists were asked to evaluate Jesus Christ's personality, and they evaluated him and diagnosed him with schizophrenia. They said he had all the classic signs of a schizophrenic. He was antisocial. He thought he was God. He was homeless. He thought he had special powers. He talked to angels. So doctors and psychiatrists aren't allowed in any of his churches. Obviously, they're not allowed in his churches if they diagnosed him with schizophrenia. So Jesus Christ proved he was who he said he was. His church is still standing. And he personally told me that doctors and psychiatrists weren't welcomed or allowed in any of his churches. And his churches would be the Vatican, the Catholic Church, and all the Christian churches. So doctors and psychiatrists evaluated Jesus Christ's personality, and they wrote an article about it, and they diagnosed him with schizophrenia. And now they're not allowed or welcomed in any of his churches for obvious reasons. That's rude to call the God of someone's church a schizophrenic. That's really rude. Why would he ever allow those people in his church? So doctors did evaluate Jesus Christ's personality after reading the Bible, and they diagnosed him with schizophrenia. And they expect to be respected when they talk about him. We're gonna evaluate this guy in this Bible, diagnose him with schizophrenia, and then we think we're gonna be respected when we talk about him. So anybody can read that article. Doctors and psychiatrists also evaluated Yahweh's personality, and that was even worse. I'm sure you can tell Yahweh's personality is everybody's annoying me, so I'm going to flood the earth. You know what kind of personality that is? Everybody in America is annoying me. I'm going to kill them all. I'm going to let this one guy live. So Jesus Christ himself told me that doctors and psychiatrists weren't allowed in any of his churches. He's had enough of them. Tons of people know Jesus Christ. Tons of people write books about him. You're supposed to have a personal relationship with him if you are a Christian. I'm not a Christian, but I still know him. So in the back of the Bible, friends of Jesus get invited to his supper, and that's weird stuff. I don't know if everybody has been invited to his supper or not, but I was invited. An angel came over to my home and invited me to a supper. I refused because I wasn't sure if it was the supper, the Silence of the Lambs supper. I actually accepted the supper invitation, even though I'm not a Christian. But I know a lot of Christians, so I'm not sure if it's weird stuff like Silence of the Lambs supper or not. So I'm still kind of weirded out about it. I know friends of Jesus who aren't Christians are invited to his supper. I'm not sure what that entails. You know how people get invited to a supper? So I think the dinner is for his church, people in his church, and the people who get invited are his friends. I don't know how it works, but I was invited, and I said okay. And he told me I could invite anybody else I wanted to a supper, and I did. I invited a bunch of people in jail to a supper. I said an angel came over and invited me to Jesus' supper, and he said I had the power to invite other people to a supper. And I said, so all of you girls in here are invited to a supper. So that's something strange that happened to me. And I'm not a Christian, so I evaluated it as I was invited because I'm his friend in strange ways.